Okay, and we're back. Now, I've actually realized how stupid I was in claiming things that I know nothing about. Remember how earlier in the LP I said you could go to Kongokai anytime you want, assuming you've unlocked it, and theoretically get the best equipment early on in the game? Well, I was half right there. You can definitely go to Kongokai anytime you want, if you've unlocked it once you reach this point. However, you can't get the best equipment there right away. Also, I've run out of mags, so I had to stock most of my demons. Now, basically, to keep you from overpowering yourself way too early into the game, if you're doing a new game, basically, the programmers put in a sort of failsafe. You have to have a certain proficiency in a certain stat, depending on your alignment. Now, the areas in Kongokai that contain the best equipment that are alignment specific have certain locks on them. And these locks are opened up based on what your stats are. Now, the lock that I need to go through to, I'm healing silence even though it doesn't do anything to the main character. The lock I need to go through requires that you have a base intelligence of 25. Now, by base, I mean you can't get any assistance from boosts or drinks or anything. You have to have an actual intelligence stat of 25 when it's not boosted. So to do that, I had to do a bit of grinding in Kongokai, because in Kongokai, there are some really good enemies for grinding. Almost all the enemies here gave about 2,000 experience points at pop, so it made grinding go by really quick, and since I'm a really high level now, I can actually probably use Estma and repel most of the things that would normally get in my way. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the entrance check at the door is. At first I thought it might have to do with your alignment, but I'm not sure if it has to deal with a particular stat or if it just deals with your level or not, but it's not important. I pass it, so I don't really have to worry about that. Now, this one requires you to have stamina. That's if you're Chaos. That is the door to the Chaos section of this dungeon. So if you're Chaos, you're going to need to have a stamina of 25. Now, let's see. The doors that you have to go through are on specific sides of the Kongokai. Oh, also, if you've noticed, this Kongokai is actually an area from the last game. The area that you went to after Tokyo got nuked. Now that door right there is the entrance to the Law section of Kongokai. It is basically, you need 25 magic, which makes it the hardest door to get into, since magic is a stat that is completely useless for your main character, so you basically have to waste all your hard-earned stat points on a stat that does nothing for you. There are some people you can meet around in Kongokai, but they don't really say anything. Okay, this is the luck door. That door is actually going to be important later. You need a luck of 25. It doesn't lead to anything alignment specific, but it does allow you to do something very important, assuming you have the luck for it. Also, just to note, since I am a neutral character, luck is also something I'm going to need to increase up to 30, actually, which is going to take a bit longer, so yeah, we're going to have to wait a while until I can, yeah, here we go. Now, basically, that entrance check at the door there checks to see if you're the right alignment for this. Oh, shit. Good to see these are still here, the teleporters. Anyways, in here... Son of a bitch! Of course that happens. Let's see, use this piranha. I can buy more later. Let's see, you can't drop multiple items at once, I don't think. Use the Fuma Bell, I guess. And, use that lone orb. Okay, now let's do this. Go into here, open this box, and in this box, we find the Masakado helmet. One of the best, helmets in the game for a neutral character. So let's see, what does that do for us? Oh, that's actually worse. Okay, so apparently this is actually a worse piece of equipment. Never mind! Wait, she has a Japanium helmet too, it wouldn't even matter. Well, that was useless. But there's better equipment here, trust me. Okay, this dark area has a couple doorways in it, so we need to find those. Let's see, you know what, just set up a mapper so I don't wander around aimlessly. Hopefully mapper works well in these dark areas. Where is it? Right there. Now, at the end of this place, we're going to need a certain luck stat. Okay. Oh, I see. I get it now. You need a luck stat of 30 to continue on in this dungeon, which kinda sucks, really. Because at the end, there's a door that requires you to have 30 luck, and once you get that, you can go into a new area which contains some of the best weapons in the game. But I'm going to come back for that later, since I don't feel like doing any more grinding. Now here's something that's better, actually. The Masakato's Gauntlet, which increases your magic, which is useless, but it's a better gauntlet, so at least it's got that going for it. And another box here, which contains too many items. Stupid. Oh, I can just go and... Let's see. Let's see, I want to get rid of this Randy shot, this Screw Lance. I want to get... Oh, this is much faster than that. I want to get rid of this. Let's see. Get rid of the Cursed Blade Disc. Get rid of this Rivet Knuckle, and I'll keep the rest of the stuff. I also got a couple of weapons that during my grinding, which are pretty good, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. I'm using one on my main character, actually. It's a sword that... It doesn't have the poisoning effect of the weapon I had before, but it's a lot stronger. And let's see, these are the Masakato's Greaves, which increase your speed and are overall just a better piece of equipment. Okay, head through here. And let's see, I want to head over this way, I'm guessing. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to show off all of Kongokai here, but I will be able to give you a base idea of what it's like. Okay, so this is the door to the next part of the dungeon. Also, since I did the Sealed Cave side quest, the enemies in here are actually very different. And apparently my mapper spell is crapped out and is not letting me do anything with it. Oh well. Okay, go over here. Gonna have to stumble around a little bit. Can I set up another mapper spell? There we go. Okay, that one took me through a door. There's one last piece of equipment that we can get for now. The Masakato's armor, and that is probably going to be the best armor in the game, I'd assume. Yes, it is! That is a huge improvement over what I've had. So, now I'm pretty much going to be impervious to most attacks, I'd assume. Otherwise, this would be pretty crappy best armor. But yeah, so, in doing this first run on Kongokai, I've gotten stuff that's way better than what I had before. I might as well show off some of these enemies. Let's see, Haikai Shin Suza no U and Shinju Barong. These are among the most powerful enemies in the game. This one is actually very important for a fusion I want to do later. I believe I've already recruited one off screen. And this guy doesn't have time to talk. I'll glower at you. And he wants to fight. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to go through with it. Let's see. Well, I can show off my new weapon here. So, yeah, it does that. Looks pretty cool, I think. And we sealed his magic. And I'm just going to speed some of this up. And, let's see how far I can go into an auto fight with this guy. This guy actually gives really good experience, and he can drop some pretty good items, but he doesn't do it very often unless you have a really high luck stat. Speaking of stats, that's one of the annoying things about the stat doors in Kongokai. They don't factor in Shada's stats at all. Which I guess makes sense, but it's annoying still, since she basically doesn't do anything with her stats at all in here. Anyways, heading through here is the exit. And this takes us back to the Sealed Cave. So yeah, that was our initial run on Kongokai. We're gonna have to come back later with a much higher luck stat. I'm probably going to be putting all of my stat gains into luck from now on until the end of the game. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go back in there and try to recruit some new demons, because there are really good demons in there. And the likes of which I probably wouldn't be able to get for a while until I could fuse them. And like I said, Barong is a demon that you want to have. You can fuse it with a certain demon later and get a really powerful demon. One that's actually very useful for the final bosses of this game. So, yeah, that was Kongokai, or at least the initial run on it. When we come back to Kongokai later with a better luck stat, we're going to check out 2 rooms. First off, if you remember right, there was a door in the initial Kongokai that is locked with a luck lock that requires 25 luck, and then there's the lock in the next part of Kongokai that requires 30. The one that requires 25 allows us to access a very useful thing, especially if you want to get some of the best weapons in the game, which I guess would be the point of going to Kongokai, but it's access to best weapons in the game that you normally would have to spend a lot of time trying to get otherwise, and the final part of Kongokai, which requires that luck 30 door, will take us into the next area, which will get us all the best neutral weapons. So yeah, that was Kongokai. So when we come back, we're going to be back in the Abyss. There's a terminal stone at Tifereth, which I used to get back to Shinjuku. So yeah, when we come back, we're actually gonna check something out, and then we're going to go to the next big dungeon of the game. So until next time, see ya.